back to the channel, guys.
Welcome back.
Got more sports for you today. We got NFL. Really haven't done any NFL on the channel.
No.
We got a lot of football in terms of soccer, but not any NFL
American football.
Yeah, so today we're doing the 20 biggest hits. We did some big hits from rugby, and that was mind-blowing. Those guys are hitting it hard, we'll say. So now we'll see how hard they hit in the NFL.
Yes.
And I'm sure we're going to see some big ones here. I don't know. It says NFL history. I mean, the NFL has a pretty long history.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's a long time to be picking the 20 biggest hits from.
But I think it's going to be more relevant to recent times. Anyways, no point in speculating.
Yeah.
Are you ready to check out some NFL hits?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, let's get it, guys.
Receiver directly to the hospital to a hit that caused a full-on brawl. Here are the 20 biggest hits in NFL history. And to kick things off, we have a hit that makes Patrick Willis look like an ultimate villain. Take a look for yourself.
Second down and 10. Oh, what a hit. Look out. Brad Smith. My goodness.
Dang, that's a lot of brute force directed at Brad Smith. What a vicious hit by an absolutely punishing linebacker. But if you don't think that was impressive, we're only getting started. Because at number 19, Blake Countess absolutely levels Marquise Goodwin.
Garoppolo 12 of 19 in this set. Oh my goodness. Goodwin just got unloaded.
Sheesh, that hit was ruthless. Clearly the Rams didn't come into the game planning to show their division rival any mercy. Speaking about showing mercy, that was the last thing Eric Harris planned on doing during a tight game against the Panthers.
Got him. Robbie over the middle, and it is Robbie Anderson. And oh, what a hit!
I thought that was his head. The ball.
Now that was a deadly hit. Harris got the best of Anderson there. Hits like that keep grown men like Robbie Anderson up at night. And this next play is also the type of play to give NFL players nightmare.
Separation. Oh, big hit. Sanders gets walloped by McLeod.
I think it's safe to assume that
The ref threw his hat on it. That was they do that for one of the rules. I think it's when somebody steps out of bounds or something like that. They throw the hat. Like the guy's like laid out on the ground. The ref throws his hat. Like, what?
Sanders never saw Rodney McLeod coming. Hopefully Sanders will think twice.
Well, we got to rewind it and look at the hat. The hat is very important.
Separation. Oh, big hit. Sanders gets walloped by McLeod.
I think it's safe to assume that Sanders never saw Rodney McLeod coming. Hopefully Sanders will think twice next time before making an all-out dive for the ball. While McLeod's hit on Sanders is an understandable football play, the same cannot be said for this next hit.
He's going to have to, not the ball comes out, helmet's off.
Illegal hit.
Flags are down.
Who knew Kiko Alonso had something personal against Joe Flacco? It's hard to blame the Ravens for reacting the way they did. Luckily, no cheap shots were exchanged on this next play, but that doesn't make this hit any less punishing.
Gonna let it go, looking for Julio Jones, and it's intercepted. Oh, what a hit by Jones!
No wonder Julio Jones is a future Hall of Famer. My dude is the ultimate team player, which has turned him into a complete receiver. Props to Jones for finishing the play, and he made sure to do so in style. And if you like that play, then wait until you see the biggest hit in Pro Bowl history. It was terrifying. But first, let's watch a play where Bud Dupree absolutely destroyed the opposing quarterback.
Finds some time, gets away from Tuitt. Here comes Harrison chasing. Oh my goodness, Moore is absolutely
Laid out.
Who knew Dupree was so fast? He came in like a missile in order to tackle Matt Moore. That hit had to have hurt. It's not easy to top a hit as powerful as that. Yet, believe it or not, that isn't even the biggest Steelers hit ever. Trust me, this next hit has it beat.
Third and 7, over the middle.
Watching this play makes you realize how relentless the 2008 Steelers defense truly was. And unfortunately, Wes Welker had to learn that the hard way. But thankfully, Welker was able to walk this hit off. However, Chris Godwin wasn't so lucky during hit number 12.
3rd and 9, Saints bring pressure again. Brady complete.
Yikes, that was one wicked hit. It's no wonder Godwin tore his ACL from a hit of this caliber. Let's hope Godwin makes a full recovery for the 2022 season, but don't feel too bad for the Buccaneers, as back in 2013, a few of their players were on the other end of a gruesome hit against the Jets.
Early gets sandwiched and he loses it.
And here I thought one player would have gotten the job done. Turns out, all three of these players wanted credit for that tackle. However, as impressive as that hit was, Geno Atkins managed to one-up these defenders with this next hit. Deshaun Watson straight up got manhandled by Atkins on this play. I guess that's what happens when you don't guard a 6'1", 300-pound defensive lineman. Now I see why Watson refuses to play for the Texans.
It's crazy because, this guy here, Deshaun Watson, he's not a small quarterback. Like, he's a relatively big guy. And like they were just saying, 300 pounds and I don't know what they said, 6'4", 6'5". You can't really put that into perspective because there's not a lot of humans that size.
Yeah,
right?
until they're right there in front of you.
Yeah, so this guy's running at you and about to crush you.
Turn and run the other way.
I think they would catch you still, because that's the thing. A lot of them are pretty athletic too, right? Even though they're heavier guys. But I did want to mention, I almost am cringing with some of these hits because I'm noticing I'm not a huge football fan anymore in terms of I don't keep track of it anymore, right? But I used to watch a fair amount of it, and I'm just noticing that a lot of these players in these highlights had concussion issues where they retired because of concussions early. They missed a lot of time because of concussions, and we know CTE is very prevalent in the history of the NFL. So it's very I think telling to see that 20 of the biggest hits in NFL history happen to players that have concussion-related issues. Yeah. I'm pretty sure Wes Welker that they mentioned in there was one of them. But just wonder what kind of toll this is going to take on the long, in the long run here.
Their quality of life and stuff.
And I think so much of it, we compared rugby, right? So much of it as well as the helmets, right? You got these, it's like a missile of a players coming at you, high speed, very strong, big guys, and then you add a helmet onto them, right, as well. It's this can do a lot of damage. And the other aspect we haven't seen that can happen is, when we saw those three players coming together and hitting that one guy, what often happens, though, too, is that the defensive players will collide with each other because they're both trying to hit that one player and they miss or something. Because the offensive player's job is to avoid it, right? So they'll miss and then they'll collide with their head.
Take each other out.
Yeah, so it's you can see why there's a lot of big collisions that can happen in football, and how much damage.
Especially when they're running all gas, no brake.
Yeah, exactly, right. And that's why I think they say the average NFL player's career is 3 to 4 years or something like that.
Insane when you think about it.
And
they can compare that to lots of other sports.
Yeah. So if it's funny that a lot of people will make fun of kickers, right? Because they don't really,
do much.
They're not bigger guys or anything like that. But if you had to choose the easiest job in the NFL, punter we're gonna see, or kicker, can't remember actually. They're probably gonna show it in the Pro Bowl. He gets hammered, but most of the time, punters or kickers, they just kick the ball a few times a game, and they're making a couple mil and not doing too bad.
Of both worlds.
Yeah. Whereas some of these other guys, football is one of the sports I would say where it's your body's taking a lot of abuse, and
100%.
You're probably going to pay for it in the future. So you better get paid in the the contract.
The reward better be worth the risk.
Yeah, brain damage is a pretty hefty price to play. So hey, anyways, enough with the rambling. Let's finish it out here.
Similarly, the NFL was asking for trouble when they let Sean Taylor play in the 2006 Pro Bowl because my dude was a human wrecking ball.
On the run, and he's going to come up short.
Sheesh, with this hit, Sean Taylor took the Pro Bowl to a whole different level of effort. If only there was half as much hard hitting in this year's Pro Bowl. Meanwhile, there was no shortage of hard hits during the 2020 NFL season. Just ask Jakeem Grant, who is a victim of hit number 8.
Punting away. Why are we showing this to you? We show it to you because of a big hit there, obviously illegal.
Unsurprisingly, none of Grant's teammates took that hit kindly.
Yeah,
But
'cause
hit
it's
number
illegal.
7 certainly gives the hit on Jakeem Grant a run for its money.
Your helmet on tight enough or you got hit up in the neck head area and that forearm.
Knocks your
How about
head.
Apparently,
how
not
about the
even
catch,
Samuel's
though?
helmet could survive
Still
this
held
hit.
on to.
What a
Yeah.
cold-blooded play by the Cardinals. And speaking of cold-blooded players, the final 6 hits take cold-blooded to the next level. This includes Danny Trevathan's hit on Devontae Adams, which sent Adams straight to the hospital.
Little screen to Adams. He got popped in the face.
With this
I
hit,
heard that. That was
Trevathan sent
gross.
out a very clear message to the rest of the league. Whether he meant it or not, don't mess with me. However, sending a message of this caliber came with a $25,000 price and a 2-game suspension. Meanwhile, like Trevathan, a rookie Keanu Neal sent Willie Snead a similar message in 2017 with this hit.
Nice catch. Steve gathered it in with one hand. And now the ball comes loose on the big hit.
Neal made a statement with that hit. Thankfully, Snead avoided an injury on this hit,
was the
whereas
helmet
Brandon
again, right?
Cooks
Yeah.
wasn't so lucky during this next hit.
Stepping up, deep downfield, wide open, Brandon Cooks. And he gets smacked down at the 40.
To make this hit even worse, it happened in a Super Bowl, for crying out loud. But believe it or not, the Eagles have a history of making deadly hits on their opponents. In fact, years earlier, Eagles' Asante Samuel made a hit so powerful it resulted in a $40,000 fine.
Lines up as the tailback. Reeves swings it out to Lewis. The ball is knocked away and an incomplete pass.
So growing up, I was. I know you say you can't cheer for 2 teams, but I liked both the Eagles and the Saints because of their jerseys early when I was really young. And so I
Yeah.
became a fan of both teams. So I remember this one because this is Reggie Bush that just got hit.
Oh my God, what's it?
Yeah, and so he's obviously a bigger name at the time.
Yeah.
And I'm a fan of both teams, and this hit was just, I think it was on prime time too, like Monday Night Football or something like that, and just boom.
Oh my God.
And but I just wanted to mention as well, Brandon Cooks is a player they just mentioned previously. It's another guy had a whole bunch of concussion issues and it's showing up in this video. Like I would say, probably half of the ones that we've seen so far have been players that have had concussion problems.
Like known problems.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
And they've missed like multiple weeks and stuff like that multiple times because of
Wow.
concussions.
Jeez, my man tried to end Bush's career with that
Guy
forceful
got
hit.
snapped in half.
But Samuel's hit is still a notch below this next hit because it resulted in a $50,000 fine.
Third down and 6. Cobb in trouble. Gets rid of it. Oh, big hit on Deshaun Jackson.
Not even D-Jax, the speed demon himself, could get out of that hit. But in order to top this list, that hit needed to feel more personal. So it's time to introduce you to the biggest hit in NFL history. What a hit! Cedric Griffin showed no hesitation on this play. It appears someone had enough of Ocho Cinco's smack talk. Thank goodness for helmets, or else that hit would have been an even bigger blow. I'm just surprised Ocho Cinco didn't try to return the favor with a hit of his own after receiving such a vicious blow to his face. And you know what's better than that last hit? You hitting the subscribe button.
Wow, he literally just took his arm and was like,
Yeah, but I mean, like, out of all those hits, he's the only player that got back up and got in the other guy's face.
Yeah,
So it's
literally.
like all the other hits, the guys were like laid out,
Yeah.
and he just popped right up off the ground and
yeah,
was like,
let's go.
"Give me some more."
Yeah.
Anyways, what are your thoughts? I've talked a lot. What are your thoughts on some of these hits that you just saw?
It's
Obviously,
crazy. I mean, for me, it's a little bit more challenging because I'm not like as familiar with the rules. So for some of them, like I don't really know what the line is between like what's allowed
Right.
and what's not. I'm more of just like, whoa, the impact, right? But it's just crazy to me, like you said, like how many of these can result in such serious injury that you know it can dictate the rest of your life and like how the rest of your life is experienced, which is nuts. How they actually put their life on the line to play the game, right? But most of those, I would say at least 75% of those, I was like, holy crap.
yeah, and a lot of it's because a lot of them are head-to-head collisions, right? And like that one on Devontae Adams, the guy that went to the hospital, like and his mouthpiece went flying and everything. Like that's literally like direct to your head, like you
Yeah.
could break your jaw type thing, right? So
100%.
you know, like you said, it's
There's another one where it was like a guy's elbow, like right into the guy's face. Like the Reggie Bush one, he looked like he was like literally like snapped in half.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, maybe just flexible.
crazy.
Yeah, well, I mean, that there was a lot in there I recognized. There was definitely quite a few I did not as well. So that was cool to check it out and go back in history. Like I said, I definitely don't think that's an all-time history.
Yeah,
I think it's more recent history,
Yeah.
but it's probably there's less camera angles and all that stuff at the
Yeah.
time. And also the players are probably faster at this point, you know. The equipment is better, people are moving
Yeah.
faster. I think the game's changed to allow for more openness, but that results in more speed and that results
Yeah.
in, you know, bigger collisions, right?
One thing I noticed is that like the play moves so fast that it almost doesn't seem like the hit's as bad as it is when they're playing it in full speed
Mhm.
because you blink and you miss it, right? Whereas when they slow it down and you really see the impact, it's like holy
Yeah, well, because
crap.
everybody's moving at that speed,
Exactly,
right? So it's kind of
right?
hard to
So-
tell, and you know, it
Yeah.
looks and just can be deceiving on TV. But
Yeah.
anyways, hope you guys enjoyed our reaction to the NFL's 20 biggest hits. And if you did, hit the like button and let us know what your thoughts are. Leave us a comment what your favorite is out of the 20. If you have any other suggestions you'd like us to tackle in terms of the sports realm, let us know below. And if you haven't joined the channel, hit the subscribe button because we got lots more coming. And hopefully you join us on this journey that we're on.
Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you in the next one.
Take care.